So Ken Carson's career has been on the rise since dropping A Great Chaos, taking him out the underground and straight into the mainstream. And from opening up for Carti, performing at smaller arenas, and to now selling out bigger arenas in minutes. As Ken Carson is about to drop his More Chaos album and is now going on his Chaos tour, this is how Ken Carson is becoming an absolute superstar in the rap game. And now first of all, looking early in Ken Carson's career, when he actually first dropped projects Teen X and Teen X Relapse, he actually became a big new gen pioneer of the rage sound along with artists Sofago and Yee, and was quickly growing, being the first artist signed to Opium. And after Carti dropped Whole Lotta Red, many fans patiently waited for what Carti was gonna actually drop next, and they're still indeed patiently waiting, as this man's album ain't even dropped yet, bro. But the wait made Carti fans tap into the closest artist to Carti, that obviously being Ken Carson. And both albums X and Project X really made me want to check out Ken Carson's music, as Carti wasn't dropping at the time. Man, for example, Project X Man, which actually was the album that actually made me a Ken Carson fan, really showed a new sound that I've never heard before, with songs like Clutch, Change, Rock and Roll, and Run Plus Ran. And the Project X era of Ken Carson was really a moment where a lot of people started to notice Ken, and even crazier, Ken was and still is gaining all this success without any promo from Carti. Just because he actually is signed to Carti and obviously is associated with him, this automatically brought hella people interested in his music. And Ken Carson would then open up for the King Fam tour, performing in big arenas, making a name for himself every show, making the crowd go absolutely crazy, bro. Man, right from the jump, man, he knew how to rock a damn concert. And after the King Fam tour, Ken would actually drop his album X, being in his X era, where he actually did stay in his song called X. Ain't no TS no more, it's just X, bitch. Showcasing the growth Ken has had as an artist. X was honestly a really underrated album in my opinion from Ken. It wasn't perceived well from fans initially, but when it actually was played at the X-Men tour, man, many people's perspectives changed, as this album was basically built for fucking mosh pits, bro. And this X-Men tour would really prove to everyone how insane of a performer Ken was. This man Ken was giving it his absolute all on stage, to the point where towards the end of the freaking tour, man, this man Ken was absolutely gassed, bro. But hey man, regardless, the fans went absolutely crazy, and clips of this concert were going absolutely viral and led to Ken and the album X to actually gain hella popularity. But that next year, 2023, man, everything would change, as Ken would drop his album A Great Chaos. And at this point, Opium fans have lost all hope in Carti dropping, and they tapped into the closest thing, that being A Great Chaos. And amen, it was indeed the missing piece for every Opium fan that we actually did need. And this album really showcased a new era and a new aesthetic from Ken Carson, and it completely changed his career. With this album selling 50k first week, being 5 times of what his last album was, that being X, and Ken had gotten many cosigns from huge mainstream artists like Drake and Offset, and this album really put a lot of people onto Ken. I remember seeing that one clip of Ken Carson performing Fighting My Demons for the first time at the A Great Chaos listening party, man. Bro, that's gotta be the biggest I'm him moment, bro. Fans were getting absolutely hyped up and knew the lyrics of the songs that weren't even out officially at the time. It's really crazy to see the insane diehard fan base Ken has created, man, as a lot of Carti fans turned into Ken fans, as they actually wait for Carti to actually drop music. And the bigger Carti is getting, with his monthly listeners being boosted almost every day, Ken is also being boosted, with Overseas being Ken's top song on Spotify and being on the Billboard with only 2 weeks of it being out. Hey man, that is some crazy shit for sure, bro. And with this new Chaos tour that actually was announced last week, man, I feel like this is really gonna be the turning point to when Ken really turns into an absolute superstar. As first of all, Ken's shows are selling out so quick, to the point where he actually has to add more shows, bro. This tour is gonna go absolutely crazy, man. This man Ken even made a tweet announcing the freaking tour, saying, "If you scared, stay home." So yeah, man, even Ken knows how crazy this tour is gonna be, man. Expect to see crazy clips of fans fighting, fans going on stage. It's gonna be a great chaos, no pun intended. And Ken is also rumored to actually drop his project More Chaos, which is apparently the deluxe to A Great Chaos. But in my opinion, I'm actually expecting a whole nother project, which will basically be a expanded version of A Great Chaos and still have 10 to 15 songs. So basically it is another album, and I expect him to actually stay in this A Great Chaos era for the rest of the year, since his tour does go from July to October, and then we actually will see which era he actually will go into next year. But as of now, man, Ken is really on top of the new gen rap scene, man. A Great Chaos is like, you know, getting millions of plays like every like week, bro. And overseas is also going absolutely crazy as well. And I can only imagine once Carti drops, I could definitely expect Ken and Lone to actually like, you know, be featured on Carti's album. And Ken's numbers are probably going to be boosted even more. This man, Ken Carson, is on his way to be an absolute superstar, and seeing his growth from dropping Project X just 3 years ago is absolutely insane. Like, I wouldn't even be surprised if like, you know, we see Ken actually headlining festivals soon, bro. And also both Ken and Lone have been actually working with a bunch of mainstream artists. For example, earlier this month, Lone did actually like, you know, drop a song with Quavo, that being Potato Loaded, and Lone does actually have a song with Don Tolliver that actually like, you know, sounds absolutely insane, that actually is going to be on his album Love Lasts Forever. And Ken was also shooting a music video with NBA Youngboy as well. And so, amen, big shout out to Carti for actually like, you know, putting all these like artists onto Ken and Lone. But looking at new music from Ken and Lone, this Friday, Ken and Lone, along with the producer Southside, did actually like, you know, drop a song called President along with the music video as well. And Lone is actually dropping a new single called Love for Ya on May 10th, and I can only assume his album Love Lasts Forever is gonna drop in that same month as well. But apparently Lil 88, who actually is a like, you know, producer on Lone's next album, is saying that his album might not be called Love Lasts Forever. But apparently this actually was cap, as Lone did actually clap back at Lil 88 on Twitter saying that his album is indeed still called Love Lasts Forever and that his album is not scrapped. This man Lone said, "Who the fuck said I'm scrapping my album? Are you dumb?" Nah, that's crazy, bruh. And as I actually did say before, man, Ken is actually like, you know, dropping his More Chaos Deluxe / album supposedly in June, man, which is obviously perfect since Ken does actually go on tour in July. Also, both Ken and Lone sets at Coachella, man, bro, they went absolutely crazy, bro. First of all, man, Ken had Lana Del Rey fans in the like, you know, crowd scared for their fucking life.
You scared? You should have stayed the fuck home.
Flashback.
Just told me that we have a crowd that collapsed, and honestly, that means you guys are doing so good. So let's keep this shit going. Let's go.
And second of all, Lone previewed this crazy song at Coachella called Baby Money, bro. That actually sounds absolutely insane, bro. Honestly, bro, as much hate Lone does actually get, bro, I'm absolutely hyped for his next album. I'm also hyped to see what songs Ken will actually put on his More Chaos album, and hopefully it actually is some like absolute grills that fans do actually want. But yeah, man, these next few months do actually like, you know, look pretty big for the Opium label. Obviously, we got Lone and Ken dropping their albums, and like, you know, Carti will probably like drop maybe in like the next 5 years. And Homicide Gang been going like crazy too, man. They just like had a sold out show in like China or like some shit, bro. Besides that, I appreciate you guys making it to the end of the video. If you guys enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe for more Opium content. Amen. It's been your boy, I'm Shannon Malt, guys. Peace. Bye.
Yeah, this shit on another level. Yeah, I'm just trying to make something special. When you in the industry, you gotta be careful.